Link down below as always to credit the original uploader. This is a rumor, as in the title, that a PlayStation 5 controller is in the works that'll feature back buttons and removable analog sticks. In case they end up drifting, you could break them off in someone's ass. Whoever's responsible for their shitty controllers, and this is coming from a PlayStation fanboy. A new leak claims that the PlayStation will be releasing a new PS5 Pro Controller sometime soon. While many fans are still having a hard time getting their hands on a PS5 to begin with, the new controller seems to be trying to appeal to the most serious of PlayStation gamers that want a more customizable controller, or just one that fucking functions and lasts longer than a couple of hours. I'm on my third controller. I'm just saying. The leak comes from a credible leaker, Tom Henderson, who is well known for leaking information about Battlefield and Call of Duty. The leak also seems believable as Xbox has supported its successful line of Pro controllers for a few years now, while PlayStation players had to opt to third party options. So it seems logical that Sony would want to get their foot in the market with its own first party Pro controller. The details of the leak also paint a believable picture that seems relatively standard for a Pro controller, according to Tom Henderson. The details come from an image the leaker sent under the condition that the image not be shown. The article claims that the controller features paddles on the back that can be programmed to different inputs, which has become a pretty popular feature for controllers in recent years. Henderson claims that the leaked image also reveals the controller feature removable grips to make the controller easier to hold, unspecified software updates, and removable analog sticks that will make it so players only have to buy new analog sticks if theirs begin to drift. Exactly. Rumors have circulated about Sony announcing new hardware later this month, so it seems likely that fans will get their first official look at the new controller soon. However, you should take this information with a grain of salt. Why not a grain of sugar? I'm just saying, why not pepper? I don't like salt. It's terrible. This is just a rumor. So a little bit of a rant for a moment. And this is coming from someone who's owned every platform, all the Nintendos, all the Xboxes, all the PlayStations, computers, okay? The whole skit and skadoodle. When it comes to PlayStation, even though I much prefer them over Xbox, and I'm not going to get into that as to the reasons why in this video, PlayStation 5 controllers and 4, 321 was pretty good. Battery life on these suck, and the analog sticks eventually drift. Fucking trash. This is my third controller, and I've had my PlayStation for a year and a couple of months, and I've already been through two controllers. Whereas this I bought a long time ago. It's still working great, though I had to buy my own battery from Biogenic, which is actually really good, just as good as the Microsoft one. And I use it to play on my computer, no problems. And I've actually never had a problem with Xbox controllers in terms of like drifting and actual performance. But when it comes to their buttons and all that, I will admit that I much, much, much prefer the PlayStation 5 controller in terms of the feel. When it came to the DS4 DualShock controller from the PS4, it was kind of like 50-50. I liked it and this one just as much. I mean, it's not terrible. But when I had Xboxes, this happened to me with the Xbox 360. I kept getting logged out of my profile and it was really, really fucking frustrating. I would get fake dead battery warnings and then I'd pull the battery out, put it back in, then all of a sudden I'm good for another couple of hours. I'm just saying. And I went through a couple of Xbox 360s. I went through, no word of a lie, 3 different Xbox Ones. I went through the original Xbox One with the big power brick. Then I went through 2 additional Xbox One S or whatever. And then I finally got a Series X, and that was the not a Series X, an Xbox One X. All these goddamn X's, it's confusing. Yeah, and that one I had no problems with whatsoever. I wasn't getting logged out. It was the only time in history I had an Xbox that didn't have an issue except for the original Xbox. The very, very first one ever back in the PS2 era days. So that's my gripe with Microsoft and the Xbox, but I do find their customer service is pretty good because, unlike Sony, they don't accidentally give out all my information and my full account to a scammer twice in 3 hours, but I've already made a video on that. But when this works with the whole adaptive triggers and all that, I will admit I do like this controller. So it's kind of funny. Maybe they're poking fun at themselves when they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll have removable analog sticks." But is it really the analog stick inside that's the issue, or is it like the mechanism? I never actually took one of these apart. I don't know how that works. If you're able to just remove it and clean it, there are ways to fix the drifting, which I also fell victim to on my Switch, which scary enough has already been out for it's been almost half a decade already since the Switch has been out. I only went through one pair of Joy-Cons, my original ones, and I just recently changed my original Switch for the OLED edition. And so far, I'm having no issues. Same thing with the Pro Controller from Nintendo, which is really good. Psychotic battery life. Same thing with this, whether you get the Microsoft battery or the Biogenics here in Canada, the battery life is just absolutely through the roof. I don't know what the hell happened with this. Is it because of all the fancy strobing? I almost said throbbing. Uh, Never mind that. Yeah, strobing lights and the haptic feedback, but even if you turn that off, I don't find that it really increases your battery life all that much. So, like every couple times a day, I have to charge this shit. Whatever. That's enough of the rant. This is actually my second take on it. My other one was a lot longer. How long is this video? Oh, you're lucky. It's literally half the length of the other one. The other one was 15 minutes. I don't know what the hell I was flapping about for 15. No, nobody needs to see me multiple times. I don't know what I went on with for 15 minutes about this video, but I'm safe to say it's time to end it now. Leave it on a high note. As always, if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. These are the kinds of videos I really like making, where I just get to rant, talk about nothing. And yes, I look like I'm in pain. I'm not. I'm just blinking a lot because fucking light, right? It's pretty bright. If I turn off the light, then I don't look as professional, but then I also blink a lot less. So, shitty quality, no blinking, higher quality because of the lighting, but then I'm nicknamed Blink 182. If you don't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down, and I'll break off one of those analog sticks off in your ass. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally, that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next video. Bye for now.